everybody. How's everyone doing out there tonight? My name is Greg Eagleson Pilot. I'm a real world A320 captain, bringing my love for aviation and flight sim to all you wonderful people out there. How's everyone doing? Dummy Thick, hi, what's up, boy? Draco says, what's up, peoples? How you doing out there, Draco? Max Reason, glad to have you all back with me again tonight. As you can see, finally, since it was released while I was gone, I get the opportunity to finally live stream the A321 Sharklet. Yes, that's right. We now have the A321 Sharklet variant. That's where we're going to be flying tonight. It flies a little bit differently. You won't really notice much of a difference except when it comes to landing this beast. The Sharklet does eliminate some of that drag that you get on landing, so it floats a little bit more than the non-Sharklet variants. So, without any further ado, without any further delay, let's hop on the flight deck and get the boarding process started, since A321 does take a little bit longer to load up than an A319 does. Let's hop on up onto the flight deck and get things started there. You brought some Sanicoms, says Max Racing. Thank you. Really do appreciate that. Usually when you will find the Sanicoms, see this little, I guess this is like a cigarette, like ashtray, or whatever you want to call it. It's not really used anymore, except for holding your cell phone. So that's usually like a little cell phone pocket there, and then it's usually stuffed full of Sanicom wipes, so you can wipe down all your high touch surfaces there. Let's go ahead and we'll bring import this T-32. Ooh, a little behind the 8 ball there. That is quite all right for the 230 planned passengers we got. We'll go ahead and do a real-time load of that. Sounds good. While that's going, we can go ahead and begin initializing our flight deck. So yeah, get the Sanicom wipes and the coffee. Hopefully it's what are we? We're down here in Miami, right? So we got to have our cafe con leche, which is absolutely amazing. Got to have one every time you go down to South Florida there. I was watching Gabriel Iglesias on one of my overnights, and I guess he was in, his special was in Fort Lauderdale, and he had to give a shout out to La Carata for the amazing food. Yes, and they have amazing coffee too. If you go down there, amazing food, amazing coffee, La Carreta. You gotta do it. Alrighty, let's get on up to the overhead. Now that we're finally boarding the airplane, we'll go ahead and turn IR 1, 2, and 3 on. Excellent. We'll come on down to the flight control panel. All these lights should be extinguished. The evacuation panel should be the same. We like to keep it in captain purser position, so that should work out just well for us. The emergency electrical panel, all the lights extinguished. Guarded switches are guarded. Terrain fault, that's normal since the IRs are in our line. We'll go ahead and put the recorder ground control on. We'll test the CVR. Listen for it. There it is. Slight beep there. I'll turn the sim volume up just a little bit so you can hear a little bit better. There we go. Sounds a little bit better, I hope. There we go. Oxygen panel. That should be extinguished. Guarded switch is guarded. And our calls panel, you want the emergency switch guarded and out. And our wipers, of course, should be off. Engine 1. We'll go ahead and test that. Excellent, excellent. And the APU. Beautiful. And engine number 2. Excellent. That passes that test. The hydraulic panel, everything should be extinguished in the auto position there. Our fuel panel, all our fuel pumps should be off. Our crossfeed and our mode selector should be in the extinguished position there. For the electrical panel, we could do the battery test, but we know in the Fenix, for some reason, it fails that test, so I'm not going to worry about it. All the other lights should be extinguished minus Gen 1 and 2, which makes sense. The engines are off. Let's go ahead. Turn the temperature down a little bit in the cabin there. Excellent. The air conditioning panel, all the lights should be extinguished with the exception of pack 1 and 2 because the packs aren't running quite yet. Anti-ice panel, we'll go ahead and check that. Everything, again, extinguished. Auto position, you gotta love the Airbus. Landing elevation should be in auto. Mode select auto. And ditching switch should be extinguished there. We'll talk about that when it comes to de-icing at a different time. Our external lights there are all set. Got the strobes on auto. We're going to be on system 1 today. All the other lights should be off. I'm going to go ahead and get the APU going right now. Ooh, Cafe con Leche. Yes, sir, Max Racing. Cafe con Leche. And whenever you go to South Florida, make sure you pop into your local Cuban cafe. Get yourself a nice little cafe con leche. Or a Cuban. Cuban sandwiches are pretty good. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and get the APU started there. We'll arm the emergency lights. We'll turn the PA to the 3 o'clock position on the observers panel. VHF3 is in data mode. That looks good. Flight controls on the FO side. Those all look good there. We won't freeze out the people in the cargo bin there. We'll leave it at a respectable temperature. Cargo smoke panel. Everything extinguished and guarded. Our ventilation panel here. Everything is extinguished. Our engine panel, again, extinguished and guarded, and our wipers are off. Coming on down to the main glare shield here. From left to right, all of our lights should be extinguished. I do not know why I'm dropping frames right now. I did do an update. There was an update between last night and tonight for the simulator. I have no clue what could have been possibly updated overnight, but it is what it is. How do you like your coffee? Okay, so when I do order my cafe con leche, it's got to be cream and sugar. So that's how I take it, cream and sugar. And the way that, well, however much cream and however much sugar they put in it is the exact right amount. It is the exact right amount, at least for me. I don't do black coffees, but I also can't go insanely heavy on the sugar. I like a lighter coffee. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I prefer a lighter coffee as well. Q&H, we'll set that in a second. I got 10 miles. ARC, we got constraints on, flight directors on my side. In the middle here, we want to be in, let's see. We should be showing digits on all of these. We want to be in heading, track, not vertical speed, flight path angle. Although lights down here should be extinguished, and on the FO side, we're looking for the same thing on his EFIS. So I'll get the altimeter here in a second. We want to be in constraints, arc 10 miles. We don't really need the VORs, so we can leave those off and the flight director's on. Also, all the rest of the push buttons are extinguished on his side. Coming down to the main instrument panel, captain should have the PFD on the left, in navigation display on the right, and the ISIS should be aligned. Engine warning display, the upper one and lower one, right, making sure they're in the correct orientation. We want to make sure the brake flan's off, landing gears down. We got 3 greens there. We got the correct date and time. The landing gear is down with no red arrow indication. We're going to go over to the FO's ND. That should be on the left. This PFD should be on the right. We can adjust the lighting accordingly. You see down here, I was messing with the calibration earlier today. I was messing around with my throttles because the right one is ever so, the detents, I should say the detents, are ever so misaligned by like a centimeter. It's like one centimeter or something like that. And so it just made it so like when I go to advance the throttles and hit that climb detent, the right one would be ever so slightly below that climb detent. So I was messing around trying to fiddle with that, and ended up breaking the little plastic piece that I had to mark the detent. So, all right, you notice I went to the data page. Current database, it is January 23rd. So a new database. Make sure you guys have connection loss, really. Okay. Thank you very much, Flight Sim. Make sure you update your nav databases there, because it is a new cycle. So there we go. Now I'll go to the initialization page And we can do an Annette request. There is a little bit of ATC online tonight. So we have Miami ground 121.8. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Connected successfully. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay. Alrighty. And then departure frequency is going to be 1945. And I just realized, no, I went the right way. Sometimes you realize after you start spinning it, you went the wrong way. All right, so we got ground, we got departure, so that looks good. Our lighting should be fine exactly where it is there. Let's go ahead and we can check our fluid levels. That looks good. So we were checking our oil. We want to be above 13.5. We want to be in the green band for our hydraulics. Checking status messages, Cat2, that's normal. And then our oxygen on the door page there. Excellent. And then we're going to recall, see if there's any messages hidden. Nope, we'll clear that. We want to make sure trim's at 0, thrust levers idle, engine master's off, mode is normal. The speed brake is disarmed, flaps are up. We have digits displaying in the rudder trim, that's good. And the emergency gear extension is down. Same thing for the first officer side. I'll go ahead and put him on the initialization page there. His radio should be fine. And we'll come on down to the transport, and we want auto and on, and I'll leave that on all. And while we're over here, I'll just go ahead and we have 7157, that's our squawk from air traffic control. 7157. There we go. Draco says, love it like that, but I cut back on sugar. I've been going straight black. Ooh. It's too bitter. It's too bitter. It's an acquired taste for sure. It's an acquired taste, Draco. I like sugar in mines. I need to cut back on sugar, but I'll save that for later times. Eat down diet later. Hey, you know, it's you got 2026 to start making some New Year's resolutions. So, you know, January 2026, maybe that could be a resolution you make. I'm not trying to put any pressure on you for 2025. I mean, New Year's already came and gone. So, let's see. We'll go ahead on down. Oh, the last check here. We want to make sure we're chalked, and we will hold down both brakes. Release the parking brake. We'll look up. And release left brake, depress it right brake, depress it excellent. Both go down and back up. We'll set the parking brake. Excellent. That check looks good. All right, let's get to programming the MiG-Do. I'll go ahead and bring up our flight plan here. I love having this integrated into the simulator. Absolutely clutch. All right, so we're going to be Delta Airlines. There we go. 3318. Go ahead and insert that. Cost index, it says it's going to be 5. And we're going to cruise at 34,000 feet. We'll see if this airplane can do it. And with an ISO deviation of plus 7. So it's going to be 38. There we go. Put 38 in there. Let's see. Let me track the current weather here. Or actually, I have the ATIS right here. Current temperature is 12 degrees. Wow, it is chilly everywhere. All right, there we go. So glad to see that cold front is moving through, and even if you're in Miami, it's really just cold for no reason. All right, let's get to the next page here. Route reserve, we'll do 0 because our flight plan accounts for that. The 0 fuel weight is going to be 157.4. 157.4. And let's see. Go over here. We shall get the 0 fuel weight CG. And I can pop that in there. Nope. I want Atsu. There we go. That's the one I want. AOC menu, received messages, and load sheet. There we go. I'll accept that. Zero fuel weight of 26.4%. All right. So we'll do that. 26.4%. Block fuel 17.6. Excellent. So now we can go into our flight plan. They're going to be using 26 left, I'm pretty sure. I could just look at our clearance and see if he gave me a runway. No, he did not give a runway. Cool. So 26 left though. We can expect that. On the Flamingo, stymie. Yeah, transition stymie. So we'll go ahead and insert that for the arrival. They're going west as well in Atlanta. Let's plan on, I mean, either 28 or 27 left. It really doesn't matter, huh? So let's do 27 left since that puts us slightly closer to the terminal. So we should do 27 left. Do I want to put an approach via in right now? Probably not. I really don't need to put in. If I do, it'd be Silva Slava. I don't even know. Let's see. We're gonna be on the, I don't know where our flight plan is. There it is. Jedi 3 layers transition. So let's look for Jedi. There we go. Layers. And we'll go ahead and insert that. Excellent. Let's go back to the initialization page, hit our wins, uplink our wins, and while we're there, once that uplinks, we can go and check our performance. Let's see where we are in terms of boarding. Wow, this is going to be an insanely long boarding process. What's our T-minus? 17 minutes, 60 minutes. Okay, no problem there. Let's see. I need performance. Miami 26 left. Well, yeah, it seems to be dry out right now, so we'll leave that as is. Sync the prelim. It's going to be 176.6. 176.6. Excellent. There's our Mac. Packs on takeoff. Everything else looks good. And we shall calculate that. 158, 61, 61, flex 48 with flaps 2 up. 0. All right, so we shall send that to the McDo, and just like magic, it's there. So there we go. Excellent. So that is uplinked. Let's go to our descent phase. We'll do a 290 descent. Not 590. Oh my gosh. Wings falling off the airplane. Alrighty, secondary flight plan, we can go ahead and copy that over since we don't have any special engine failure procedures that we need to deal with there. So there we go. That whole McDo is set up and ready to go. Let's see. Our IRs are aligned. We can get rid of you. IRs are aligned, so we can go ahead and turn the terrain on ND on. So IRs are aligned. We want to make sure the ground control is still on. The altimeter, we're looking at 3017. So 3017 set once, set twice, and set thrice. There we go. Excellent. So 3017, that's set. Field elevation looks approximately correct. Excellent. We want to be arc 10. Actually, we'll put that in plan since we're getting ready to check our flight plan here. Our clearance says to climb via SID. Expect 330 10 minutes after departure. Okay, so they're giving us 33 as the top. Okay, no problem there. So if we go over to the Flamingo has 5,000 feet as the top altitude on the SID. So we'll put 5,000 feet in there. We have dash lines and dots. That means everything is in managed. I like it. I like it a lot. Our parking brake is on, and we've checked the triple indicator, so that's good. Our RMP and ACP are set. Now, dude, really? Is it going to be like this all night, computer? Alrighty, so we will come in and we will check our coordinates to make sure they're roughly aligned with what Miami should be. So we got 2547.5 versus, put you somewhere down there, 2547.7, and then we're west 08016.6, so west 08017.4, so that should be good there. That's reasonable, acceptable. That puts us somewhere on the Miami airport. We want to make sure that our ND looks approximately correct. We're facing west. That seems about right. Our PFD also looks good. We have V1 and V2. Climate nav are blue. Flight directors 1 and 2. And then check our oxygen. Excellent. There we go. Max Reason says maybe in 2027. Hey, as long as you have long-term goals, that's the key. That's the key. As long as you have a goal set somewhere, that's all that really matters. I mean, if you want to push it back to 2028, no one's judging. Judge-free zone here. All right, that's all complete. Let's go ahead and do a route verification. Are you ready, Ghost FO? Hold on, let me actually turn and look at our Ghost FO. You ready there, Ghost FO? I never really. Oh, look at there. Oh, they have cool seats back there. Love the Delta seats. Alrighty. No questions. I haven't even begun to breathe. You already have no questions. All right. Well, there we go. Let's see. Well, we'll start with the route verification, and then we'll hop into the brief. I forgot to do the route verification there. So, let's go 10 nautical miles. Let's bring up the actual flight plan. That would be more beneficial. Or I could bring it up here. Will it do it like that? It's kind of a weird way of doing it. It is what it is. I like the more truncated version. So, we'll bring up the flight plan and some brief here. Boom. Excellent. We'll review the flight plan. There we go. Excellent. So, we will depart. I gotta bring up a lot of stuff here. I'll bring you over since you're always on top. There we go. And we'll bring up the flight plan. So we will be departing as Delta Airlines Flight 3318, departing Miami for Atlanta. No alternates. We'll depart off of runway 26 left. It's going to be a 272 to intercept a 283 course to Crocs. My kid loves Crocs, by the way. That's crazy. Or maybe they're talking about crocodiles because, you know, Everglades. Crocs, then Russ, and we're following along here. So we got Crocs, Russ, Ramiro, and then we got Alonzo all the way up here at or above 5,000 feet. Then Flamingo, then Wapham, and Stymai, and then from there, we shall take the Q77. So we're looking at Q77, and we will take that all the way to Sharks. From Sharks, we'll go direct to Larry, and from there, that'll be the Jedi 3 arrival. It should say the first few lines here should say like Larry or layers. It should say layers right there, and then Jedi closer in. Either way, and we have a total distance of 539 miles. Does it have the distance on there? I don't know where the distance is. Yep. There we go. 546 miles. That seems reasonable. That's within, the margin of error there, as long as we're not going to end up over in like Athens or something like that. Greece, not Athens, Georgia. That's something completely different. I should have used a better analogy there. But completely reasonable. All right. Now we can get into our little briefing here. Let's plan on departing runway 26 left. We'll push back. We'll taxi somehow around. It looks like, what is this? Papa Whiskey and November, or Mike. Probably Mike. Mike actually takes us down to the end at Mike 11. When we do get down there, plan on doing a flaps 2 flex. It'll be standard reject considerations. Should we lose an engine after V1? We'll proceed straight ahead. We'll climb up to about 3,000 or 4,000 feet, clean up the aircraft, work the problem, and make a right pattern back around. We could probably take 279 less to runway 27, 13,000 feet. Otherwise, should everything go to plan, we'll proceed out on the SID. The first fix is straight in front of us. 5,000 is the top altitude. Got departure frequency of 1945, and we're squawking 7157. I can't wait for the 757 to come out. I love that airplane. Love that airplane. So Bluebird Simulations is cooking up something fantastic over there. Hopefully, it gets released for Flight Sim 2020 and Flight Simulator 2024. We'll see. We'll see what they're cooking up. This is going to annoy me to no end throughout the whole flight. I don't know what I did with my internet last night, but apparently it doesn't like what I did. Alrighty. Any questions? I know Max Racing already said he had no questions. What aviation headsets do you use? Headset. I use one headset. And it is the Telex 8. I think it's the Pro. Don't quote me on that. It's a Telex 8, the Airman 8. And it's great for the Airbus. I'll go ahead and get rid of this. We'll go ahead and get rid of the ground power and ground air as well. Ooh, darn it. I've never done that before in real life. So in real life, if you do that, you disconnect the GPU before you actually come up here and turn it off, the airplane will go dark. Ask me how I know. So we do I meaning me, do the Telex Airman 8. Telex? Yeah, Telex. Airman 8. I like it, especially for the Airbus. It has okay passive noise canceling. And it also has a little bit of active noise cancellation on there as well. And it works perfectly with the Airbus. I mean, the biggest issue is you're always having to carry at least one type of plug, sometimes two. It's very weird because some Airbuses, some of the slightly older Airbuses have the old Canon plug, and the newer Airbuses you can use the regular GA prongs. But some of the Airbuses with the GA prongs don't like the headset's GA prongs, so you then have to, I kid you not, I heard this from someone else, you then have to put the adapter or GA to Airbus, then put another adapter from Airbus back to GA, and that will usually solve the issue. I've only flown one airplane like that thus far, and I don't have all the adapters, so I don't have Airbus to GA adapter since my headset's a GA headset, and I couldn't use my headsets, so I had to use the airplane's headset, which are just like basic Telexes, and I could hear everything. It was so annoying, the amount of things that you can hear when you don't have noise canceling. You said you're looking to purchase some Bose A20s. Those are really, really good headsets. I do not have them. However, of the people I've flown with who do have them, they love them. Absolutely worth every cent that you're going to spend on them. Get them. Don't look back. They're going to be amazing. The A20s or the A30s? Do they have A30s? I don't even... Is that the newest one? Whichever one, it doesn't even matter which Bose you get. Any of the Boses are going to be good. And from what I've heard, they stand behind their product too. So let's say 5 years from now, 10 years from now, your headset starts acting up, or you need new parts put into the headset. I've heard you can send it in at a reasonable cost, and if they don't have the parts for your headset anymore, they will give you the money for your headset and say, here, buy another headset. I kid you not. I've heard more than one story where people have sent their headset in, they didn't have the parts, they said, here's some money for your headset, please pick a new one. So if you go with Bose, you're gonna be set. They're a really good company. They have pretty good headsets as well. A lot of people I fly with have the over-the-ear Dave & Clark, so I highly recommend either one of those. The Dave & Clarks are more like the Telex Airman 8s in that aspect. I think they have batteries for their active noise cancellation, whereas the Airman, and which is why another reason why I like the Airman so much, is because I don't need batteries. I just plug it in the airplane. I got active noise cancellation. So, and the Airbus isn't a crazy loud airplane, so I'm not really worried too much about that. Let's go ahead and see where we are in the boarding process here. We're T-minus 1 minute. Are we even remotely done boarding? We got 30 passengers to go. Not a bad time to go ahead and make a welcome aboard announcement, shall we? Let's see. Yeah, why not? Let's go ahead and do that. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings from the flight deck. This is your captain, Gray Eagle, speaking on behalf of myself, my first officer, Ghost, and our 4 wonderful cabin crew members in the back. I'd like to welcome you aboard at Delta Airlines Flight 3318 with service up to Atlanta. Just finishing up loading some last minute bags here. Should be underway here in just a few more minutes. Once we're airborne, looking at 1 hour and 20 minutes of flying time. We'll be cruising along at an altitude of 33,000 feet. I'm anticipating a smooth ride up to Atlanta. I'll try to get that fasten seatbelt sign turned off as soon as I can once we do level off and cruise. The current weather up in Atlanta, the winds are out of the west at 3 miles an hour, 10 miles visibility, partly cloudy skies. Temperature is right around 34 degrees Fahrenheit. If there's anything we can do to make your flight more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. In the meantime, we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. There we go. So once we make our announcement, we can roll right into our flow to get everything configured and ready for departure. So pumps are on, external power off, APU is on, the bleed air is on, fasten seatbelt sign can now come on. We're gonna go ahead and do some last minute checks. Our fuel 17.6, it looks balanced and appropriate there. Hydraulics again all look good. Pressurization should be showing the landing altitude, so that looks good. And we still have more than 13.5 quarts of oil, so that's all good. And we can roll right into a before start checklist. So recorder ground control, somehow that was on. It may have turned off when I accidentally dropped the external power. It may have kicked that offline, but we'll turn that back on. So recorder ground control is on. Flight forms and maintenance log is on board reviewed aircraft 365. Fuel quantity 17 point. What did I have? We need 17.6, I think it was. view the flight plan. Let's see. Let's see. I'll come down here. Yeah, 17.6 required, and we have 17.5 on board. That's all right. Takeoff performance. We got 158, 161, 161 with a flex of 48. Oxygen checked. Seatbelt sign is on. ECAM checked. Parking brake on and checked. MCD is set. Altimeters is 3017. And departure briefings reviewed before our checklist is complete. There we go. Well, looks like we're getting more crappy weather here in Houston. What's the weather like there right now? You said this weekend it's going to be more bad weather. It's time to reschedule the solo. Every time you reschedule it, you're just going to invite more bad weather to come through. You do realize that, right? All right, let's get our transponder going. Excellent. We should be squawk in mode C now. Ground is still on. And yeah, departure is still on. So that is good. Let's see if the ATIS is updated at all. Because they had information at. That's what they had at. Okay, so it's Yankee now. And the altimeter 3019er it looks like. So 3019. Let's go ahead and correct that. Excellent. All right, we should be pretty much all ready to go. Really, one more person. Dismiss. There we go. All right, we'll go ahead and get our beacon light on. There we go. There goes our jet bridge. We can go ahead and begin our request our tug here. Waiting on our doors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're all armed. Excellent. So we can go ahead and close this door on up. Thank you very much. We'll see you in Atlanta. Alrighty then. So I'm going to make sure our doors closed. Our comms are set for pushback. I'm not really worried about that right now. We would like to have 8 armed. That's good. And I am specifically looking for parking brake, APU, nozzle steering, TCAS, seatbelt sign. So PANTS. Pants. We gotta make sure we have our pants. All right. And then let's come up to the overhead beacon is on. So we're all set and ready to go. Let's go outside here real quick so I can actually see where I'm going to be pushing us back to. Bring you back up. Excellent. Let's go backward. Oh, wait. Nope. I need to call ground. Hello, ground. Delta 3318, Hotel 10, ready to push. Alrighty, pushes our discretion for Delta 3318. Alrighty, we're clear to push, so brakes release, clear to push. Let's go backwards. You say low ceiling Saturday, storming Sunday. Ooh. Or do you only fly on the weekends? Is that what it is? Let's turn the nose to the right here. When I was trying to get the thumbnail for this, Miami was definitely looking worse for wear here. It was cloudy, foggy, absolutely terrible. So I guess Miami's sending all this wonderful weather your way this weekend. And that looks like what's going to be happening. All right, we'll hold right there. I'll put the parking brake on. And we can go ahead and stop our pushback. And let's see if I can get a good position here for the engine start. Oh, look at there. Is that a missing texture, or is that supposed to be like that? I have no clue. Alright. We'll go ahead and turn 1. Okay, so you do fly some weekdays, but I mean, obviously, as in most people, you're available on the weekends to fly. That makes it a little bit more difficult as well, because then every time there's a bad weekend, you gotta wait another week. There we go. Hear the blue system coming online. So that means that we must have a solid engine start there. Let's make our way around to engine number 2. Owls, what's going on, buddy? He says, hey, Great Eagle, how are you doing, Owls? What's up? Welcome to the stream. Glad you were able to catch even just a little bit of it. Appreciate you dropping on by, saying hey to me. The Fenix sounds great. Oh man, the Fenix sounds beautiful. I've been watching some of the streamers like Owls flying the 737 with the Boris, the new Boris sound pack. And that sounds really good as well, I'm not gonna lie. Alrighty, there we go. So it looks like we have 2 good engine starts. Let's see, I'll keep the drone somewhere at a reasonable distance. There we go, something like that. Alrighty, let's go back inside, do our after start checks here. Flaps 2 it is. Oh, I did not have that in detent number 1. There we go, flaps 2. Go ahead and get the landing lights down but off, and then I like to turn on our taxi light there. Let's go ahead and check our status. No status messages. Excellent after start checklist. Engine anti-ice we do not need. Status messages have been checked and the rudder trim is at 0. After start checklist is complete. Low ground, Delta 3318, Hotel 10, ready to taxi. We have information, Yankee. Ooh, was not expecting a 27 departure. Could we hold here 1 minute? Change the runway. Thanks, sorry about that. Alrighty, so in that case, I'll get a clock going, make sure we get our warm-up time on the engines. Sometimes that happens, so it's super easy. Quebec 10, boom, right in front of us. So like we're gonna taxi straight ahead. Super short taxi. I was not prepared for that. So what we will do is, 1, you don't have to start taxiing. This is how you get yourself into a bind, is if you start saying, oh yeah, we'll taxi, 27 via Quebec. Well, you're gonna be there in 2 seconds and you have to do a runway change. You have to upload new performance numbers. And you also have to give the flight attendants enough time to do their briefing and do a cabin walkthrough and sit down. So all of that, you want to just buy it some time. So that's what we're doing. You can always say, oh, I need more time. And guess what? He said, okay, no problem. Let's see. I'm doing great, man. How about you? I am doing fantastic. It's been quite some time. I'll probably have a little bit of a story time once we do take off and level off and cruise there. I mean, had some crazy water damage done to the first floor of our house, so that's been fun dealing with that. Had to. Hello, you're flying the Delta 321. That's right. You only come to the streams that have Delta deliveries. That's right. I forgot about that, Owls. Yeah. Gotta rep the red widget, man. All right. Let's see. We'll go into flight plan here. let's go to departure. We need 27. We'll go ahead and enter that. The SID should remain the same. I already forgot. It's the Flamingo. That's what it is. Flamingo. There we go. Stymai. Go ahead and insert that. Once that is inserted, you want to go down and clear the discontinuity. There we go. Clear the discontinuity. A lot of times people will miss clearing that discontinuity. So we'll go ahead and do that and re-verify that we have all the correct routes. I think it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. Doesn't matter which runway we take off on. It's just going to be it's going to be a 272 to intercept a 298 course that rocks. That's really the only change. And then it's still going to be Russ, Romero, Alonso at or above 5,000, Flamingo, Wapham, and then Stymai, and then we'll continue on the Q77 to Sharks, then Larry. Cool. So that's been reviewed. We verified that that is correct. Let's go ahead and get our final load sheet here. We'll accept that. Zero fuel weight of 157.5. So that's close enough there. And a CG is going to be 26.4. That's good. All right. So we closed out pretty much right where we need to. However, if I go to the performance page, you see all the numbers are tiny and off to the side now. Because we switched runways, it's saying, are you sure you want this data? You can hit confirm, or we can come over here and rerun numbers for 27. So there's that. We can, I said 176.6. Yeah, that seems about right. Specs on optimal. There we go. We'll calculate, and that looks good. So we'll send that. The numbers are different, so we'll send that to the McDo. There we go. Those are uplinked. I don't know. I can't get rid of that. I don't know. Okay, let's just send that to the McDo again. Excellent, because I wanted the next phase to make sure everything on the next phase is there. Excellent. Go to the secondary flight plan. We're going to copy the active one more time to get our new runway over. Excellent. All of that is done. Now that all of that is done and verified, since it's such a short taxi route, we'll just do all of our stuff right here. So I'll put you back on arc. There we go. Flight control checks. Pull up. Pull down. Neutral. Pull left. Full right. Neutral. Rudders. Full left. Full right. Neutral. We'll go ahead and set that to max. We want to be at up 0.7. Oop. Turn you back down. We'll go ahead and get the PWS on, and we will check our takeoff config. That is normal. Excellent. And we'll go ahead and let the flight attendants prepare for takeoff. Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff. Alrighty. So before we even move, we'll just do our before takeoff checklist to the line. Flaps to plan to indicated. Takeoff data and speeds are checked. Weight 174.8. Stab trim is 25.8%. Flight controls checked. KMIA takeoff no blue. We're to the line. Excellent. Yeah, now I want you on the performance page. Lewis says, are you a real A320 pilot? I am, Lewis. Thank you for asking. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing out there tonight, Lewis? Appreciate you dropping in and saying hi there. Uh-oh. Hope it wasn't too bad. No. Alrighty, let's see. Got our time. There we go. So the engines are nice and warmed up. We have all our checklists done. Well, except the below the line part, so we can call ready to taxi. The ground, Delta 3318 is ready to taxi. We have Yankee. Or he doesn't want to talk to me anymore. 27 via Quebec 10 for Delta 3318. Alrighty, Quebec 10, here we go. We are clear on the left. We're clear on the right. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Yes, sir, Owls. Yes, sir. So I am one of the 520,000 real-world A320 pilots streaming on YouTube now. So, you know, insignificant in the grand scheme of things, but what can I say? I love flight simming, so why not share my passion with everyone else out there? Alrighty, we'll contact departure for Delta 3318. Alrighty, so departure frequency is 1945. So the power change screwed up a lot there. Okay, 1945. There we go. We'll put that in there. And do I have... Go ahead and put you on one. Yeah. Put you on TARA.
495, worth 16,000 on the coastal 2.
Alright, sweet. It really literally is straight ahead. Oh, I love the Sharklet. The Sharklet looks so beautiful. Lewis, no, for the safety and security of my airline, I will not disclose who I fly for. So, thank you for asking, though. I really appreciate that. But no, just a guy putting out my version of flight sim, and again, all the procedures you see here are definitely modified for single pilot flying in a simulator. So. A lot of stuff you just can't do because you don't have two people, right? So you gotta modify some things to make it work in the simulator. But if you definitely follow along, you'll probably learn one or two things about the Airbus. But lots of Airbus YouTubers out there. Black Box is another Airbus pilot over in Europe. Over here in the States, you have V1 Simulations, very, very well-known Airbus pilot and a YouTube streamer. So, you know, definitely a wealth of resources out there in terms of learning about the Airbus. Alrighty. We're number one, holding short. Hello, approach Delta 3318. That's holding short, 27 ready for departure.
Delta 3318, roger. Wind 300 at minor, gust 17. RNAV Crocs, runway 27, cleared for takeoff.
RNAV Crocs 27, clear for takeoff, Delta 3318. Alrighty, we are cleared for takeoff. We'll let the flight attendants know we are taking the runway. The runway appears to be clear. Final appears to be clear as well.
Enter wing 2059, I haven't already runway 28 left, clear land.
No, you didn't do it, let's left for wing 2059 back.
Ooh, my throttles feel so weird now that I reduced the tension on them. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess we'll find out. How long have you been in the big guys? I have been flying. I mean, that's kind of a broad statement there, but I've been on the Airbus for about 6 years now. Before that, I was slumming it out at the regionals, so we all know how regional life is. Alrighty, are we ready? Throttle's up to 50%. Here comes the sim sounds. I'll talk to you in the air. Flex, rust set. 80. Check. B1. Rotate. Positive rate. You're up. Climb set. Laps 1. Anything to see out there? Absolutely not. Nothing to see out there. Just clouds on top of clouds. Thing you gotta think about since it's so cold down there is temperature. Yeah, temperature's pretty good up here. Alright. Alrighty, flaps up after takeoff checklist. Low departure Delta 3318, 3000 climbing 5000 on the Flamingo. Climb maintain 16,000 Delta 3318. Alright, 16. That's it. Sweet deal. Lewis says, do you ever get nervous flying? I tell you what, I mean, and I'm sure Max Racing can verify this, but when you first start learning how to fly, yeah, you get a little nervous. You start flying, you build up your confidence a little bit, and then right when you think you got everything, your instructor says, alright, I'm gonna hop out of the airplane and you land by yourself. And are you nervous? Yeah, but when you make that first landing by yourself without a flight instructor on board, man, you are on top of the world. It is one of the best feelings ever. And now, you know, what am I, 20 years since my first solo? You don't even think about the massive responsibility you have, or the passengers behind you. You have a job to do and you want to execute it to the highest level possible. That's really kind of all you think about. I'm gonna bring the volume back down to a more reasonable level now. There we go. How's that sound for you all? Excellent. Welcome back to the flight deck, everyone. So you don't even really think about it. I'm gonna turn the autopilot on now. There we go. You don't even think about all of the responsibility that you have, because you're just trained. You're just trained to do it. Look at the beautiful red widget. Such a clean livery. I love it. Such a clean livery. It's like that and the United livery, the new United livery, where it's just like the different shades of blue. That also looks just like fresh and modern, clean. Love it. But the Delta with the blue and red, man, definitely American pride right there. The red, white, and blue. Nice. Thanks, Owls. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's definitely a slog when you first start flying, trying to get your time to make it to a place where you feel comfortable making a career out of it. I mean, some people can make a career out of being at a regional. Are we through 10,000 feet? I think we are. Go ahead and let the flight attendants up. Lewis says practice makes perfect. Yeah, man. It really does. So, I mean, you do spend a lot of your time in the pattern, practicing your takeoffs and landings, all the other stuff that you do, and I'm sure Max Racing can verify this. We don't have center align, do we? No, we don't have center align. That's okay. All the air work, doing like stalls and steep turns and, you know, rectangular courses and turns across a road, all those maneuvers that they make you do, all of that is just practice for being in a pattern. That's all it is. It's practicing being in a pattern to take off and land, and not getting yourself into a situation where you overshoot. So that's really your practice how to fly a pattern. Roger, we have that traffic on TCAS. Frequency change approved for Delta 3318. Thanks for the ATC. Have a great night. Yeah, I don't think so. Not in a simulator, bud. Alrighty, so we will switch to 22.8. I don't know what frequency I'm tuning in there. Here we go. We'll go 122.8. We'll keep our squawk because Jack Center is online. Someone is just buzzing around at VFR at 13,000 feet, 12,000 feet, something like that. Yeah, of course, you know, they would in this type of weather down in southern Florida. I'm not going to see you. You're out there somewhere, but I'm not going to see you. Out over the glades. Let's see. Let me try to turn on a little bit of just super chill music there. There we go. There we go. Hopefully that's not too loud there. You can already tell I'm looking. I need to change some of my volume settings around. I think I have too many things set up on one output. That's alright. I'll tweak that. Before my next stream. Yeah, but I'm sure Max Racing can attest everything you do, especially for your first certificate, your private pilot certificate, your PPL, wherever you are in the world, whatever you call it, your very first certificate. It's all practicing taking off and landing safely, and everything you do in the air, your air work, your ground work, it's all designed to be used in a pattern. So you kind of take that and you apply it to a pattern work. Everything is all about pattern work. But yeah, practice makes perfect. That's why we have, you know, the airlines invest millions and millions and millions of dollars into simulators and simulator training, so that you can run through things and run through things and run through things again and again and again and again. So there's some things that you'll see once in a while, like you know, once every few years you'll see like a slat or a flap issue, and then there's some things that you see every single time you go into the simulator, like we're level here at 16,000 feet, aren't we? Yeah, let's go ahead and climb them up. Climb on up to flight level 330. There we go. Go ahead and do that. Hang out up front for just a minute there. Oh, that's a different angle. I don't like. Yeah, I mean, airlines invest millions and millions of dollars into your training, and you'll see some things once. Like I said, sometimes you'll see once every blue moon, you'll see like a flap or a slat being stuck or something like that. But then there's some things you see literally every single time. You are guaranteed to lose an engine exactly at V1 every year you go into the simulator. So that's kind of how it's all set up. This year I was already looking at what they have set up for this year, and they kind of changed it up. They get a second segment engine for, well, it's not second segment, they get a well, it is second segment, but it's after they take you off runway heading. Transition standard. There we go. We're standard. We can go ahead and turn that off, and it's nice out. We'll go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign off. Let everyone get up and rip it up. There we go. Absolutely beautiful. And gosh, you gotta love the Sharklet. It's an absolute beauty. Yeah, but this year in the simulator, it looks like they're gonna change it up. It's gonna be like a second segment failure, but they give you to you after you begin your turn off of runway heading. So a lot of times departure, tower controller will say, runway 27 clear for takeoff, after departure fly heading 300. All right, so at 400 feet you usually begin your turn, which is perfectly fine if you're VFR. But if you lose an engine, all your engine failure data is predicated on a cone of safety. And if you exit that cone of safety, you now have to maneuver yourself back into that cone of safety. So really, that's what they're looking for there. It's not that big of a deal. And I actually kind of prefer that one over a V1 cut, simply because the autopilot's already on. So engine failures aren't a big deal. If you already have the autopilot on, you just turn the heading back, realign yourself with the runway, and keep on going. Super easy. Oh, Lewis, it is no problem, bud. I really do appreciate you asking all the questions. I mean, curiosity does not kill the cat. There's no such thing as stupid questions here. And this is a judgment-free zone, buddy. So you say, sorry for asking lots of questions, just never got a chance to talk to a real pilot. Yeah, man, no problem. Yeah, I'm here. I'll answer any of the questions you got there. Max Racing knows. I'll answer almost any question you ask there. The only thing I won't do is answer anything operator specific. So. So while I was away, the reason I was away to begin with was just like the absolute perfect timing for everything. It was during Hurricane Helene, which we know the massive devastation it left from Florida all the way up into the West Virginia area. And was getting ready for work the morning of, and I'm in the laundry room. I'm ironing, doing my thing. I'm ironing, trying to get that nice crisp press on my uniform. And I'm leaving the laundry room and I look down on the floor. I see something shining back at me. That's weird. What could be possibly shining on the floor? Like, unless, someone spilled something or something like that. I'm like, I thought it could be like, glue from the quarter round or something like that. So I said, well, let me just see what it is. So I got down, looked real close at it, got my flashlight out my flight bag. I literally got the flashlight out of my flight bag and got down, turned on the light because it's dark 30 in the morning, right? No one's up, no one's doing anything. So that's why I had the flashlight. So I turned on the flashlight to shine it on that spot that was wet. And it's not just one little spot, it's a long line right against the wall, right on the quarter round. I was like, that's weird. So I get down, I'm like, what is it? So I put my finger in it and it's wet to the touch. It's not glue, I can tell you that much. So I said, well, that can't be good. So what I ended up doing was peeling off the quarter round to investigate. I needed to investigate further. So I peeled off the quarter round, and to my shock, amazement, horror, whatever feeling you want to insert there, I probably felt it at that time. There was more of this water sitting right at exactly the height that our floors are from our foundation. So I said, oh no. We have a flood. The best day to find that our house is flooded, because Helene is moving through, and I guarantee you every insurance adjuster is going to be not wanting to do anything unrelated to Helene. They're going to be swamped trying to do adjustments for that. So I said, okay, I highly doubt we're going to have an adjuster in our area that's going to be actually available to do anything. They're all probably, in the mountains in Florida somewhere. I don't know how insurance adjustments work. I don't know how that world works. Like, when there's about to be a event, do the adjusters travel to where that event's going to be so that they can be ready whenever it's over? I don't know how it works. I just assumed no one was going to be available for weeks. So that was the first thought that ran through my head. The second thought was, well, I can't go to work. So I had to call scheduling and say, yeah, nah, I made up some lie. No, I can't make it in. The streets, they're super flooded. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to make it. So I made up an excuse to not come into work, which I'm sure. Then I had to find the source of the issue, because where it was right at a wall. That wall is underneath our stairs, so that wall is where our stairs are. Nothing is behind the stairs. So I'm like, well, and there's no access to behind the stairs. So I'm like, I'm not going to be able to just see behind the stairs to see what's going on. But because it was behind the stairs, I had what some people would call a clue. Because our water line, the main line to the house, runs through our coat closet, which is under the stairs. So I went into the coat closet, peeled off the little cover for our main line, and lo and behold, the bottom is a wood, I guess you would call it a wood brace, so that the area could be boxed in. So you got the studs on two sides, and then you got a brace on the top and the bottom. So I opened that up, and lo and behold, the bottom brace is soaking wet. Of course it's going to be soaking wet. Why wouldn't it be soaking wet, right? So the bottom brace soaking wet. Oh, that can't be good. And it takes just a handful of seconds for me to stand there looking at it is leaking right onto that beam. some of those there's a leak coming from a valve right onto that bottom beam. It soaked up that bottom beam, and I'm sure that water from that beam was dripping down onto the floor. So I said, well, this isn't good. But still, I can't see anything. It doesn't look like anything to me. The untrained eye doesn't look like anything, right? So the next order of business was, well, I definitely know I need a plumber now. So what's our altitude at? We're climbing on up. Can I make 33? Let's see. Sometimes on the 321 you gotta kind of like keep looking at your performance here. Not your performance, your progress. 350 is optimal, so yeah, we could take 33. I'll go ahead and put 33 in there. Boom. There we go. That way when we get up there we can alt cruise. Excellent. Alrighty. And once we do get up there, what's our cruising speed gonna be? 7.6. I'll bump it up to like 8.0, something like that. It won't be something crazy. It won't be anything crazy. In fact, you know what? I'll bump it up now. We'll just go 8.0. There we go. So next order of business was, obviously I can't fix this. I have to call a plumber. So hop on the local Google, see plumbers in the area that people are going to recommend, and call the one that, you know, got the best, you know, reviews, ratings, whatever you want to call it, and give them a call. I said, okay, cool, we'll have someone out there in like 3 days. I said, I don't think you understand. I have an active leak going in my house. And I don't think I can shut off my water for 3 whole days until you come out here to fix it. So he goes, okay, well, let me get an emergency crew out to you. So he calls an emergency crew. The emergency crew calls me, and we exchange information. They come over to the house, and they open up. The area was already open up. They just took one look at it, and they said, yep, looks like your pressure regulator had a leak. Awesome. Didn't know that was a pressure regulator, but now I do. So I said, well, can you replace it? Yep, we have the tool in the car. We can replace it. It'll be X amount of dollars. Cool. Fine. Do it. I need this leak to stop. So they shut off the water. They replaced the valve, and I think they even said when they were done with it and they were running the test to see what the pressure was like coming out of the faucets. They said they bumped up the pressure just a little bit to be right just below the maximum requirement. I forgot what it was, but there's a minimum and a maximum, and I think they bumped it up so that it's below the maximum now. Which is fine with me. I could hardly tell a difference. I mean, it doesn't feel like the water's coming out any harder than it already is, so they couldn't tell a difference. So that was thing number 2 that was done. And while I was there, Mrs. Gray Eagle noticed that we had a water stain on our ceiling. Okay. Hey, Mr. Plumber. You think that's a water stain? Yep, looks like a water stain. Okay. Do you think it's related to this leak, or what's going on? I don't know. Let's take a look. So obviously he cut a hole in my ceiling, which is super fun. Just to find out, nope, no leak, no water, no nothing. Nothing was there. They don't know why we had a water stain on our ceiling. We just had a random water stain on our ceiling. Cool. So now I have a hole in my ceiling and a wet floor that I don't know what the extent of the damage is. So I'm like, what next? He's like, you need to call a water damage repair guy. So this is very quickly becoming a fun day for me. So I call. Yeah, I don't want that view. Let's go out here. There we go. Do we get an ocean somewhere? Can't even see the ocean. Just clouds on clouds on clouds. Are you there? Absolutely beautiful. There's our shot. So I had to call a water damage repair guy. I didn't even know, you know. Is that 1-800 Surf Pro? I don't know. I must be. I am dropping a lot of frames. Hopefully, the stream isn't too terrible. I don't know why the connection between OBS and YouTube is so low, but hopefully everything is coming in as one continuous smooth thing. So luckily the plumbers, they had a guy, they knew a company, really good guy. Then he was actually a really good guy. No, I can't say who he is, but I would highly recommend, if someone had something similar happen to them that happened to me, or any type of water damage like that, I would highly recommend this guy in a second. Very good, very professional, very courteous, explained everything very well. I mean, could not recommend a better guy. It looks like Jack Center got off. It's just Atlanta Center on now. Okay, no problem. So got his number, called him, and he didn't have much going on this day. So he was able to come pretty much right on over. Max Racing, hold that thought. I'm gonna get back with you on that one. Have you ever thought about buying a GA or playing IRL? Hold that thought, Max Racing. So he comes over and looks, and I show him what happened, and he's looking around, and for me, the untrained eye, I couldn't tell anything was wrong, but to the trained eye, he saw that my floors had been soaking up this water for who knows how long, because all the slats were warped. All the slats were warped. So he said, yeah, the closet, obviously the coat closet, the floors were done, kaput, they're gone, that's it. You know, in the hallway, you know, it was hit or miss, but a large area of the floors in the hallway had soaked up the water too. So he had his team come in, and they had to try to get out. He said, first of all, they need to go in, they need to dry out all of the water, they need to dry out all of the wood as well, because that wood had been soaking up water as well. So, you know, in the US, we don't use, I mean, I guess it's fine, but we use wood to build our houses, right? So, like, the water is not wood's best friend, or wood, yeah, water is not wood's best friend. So you have to keep it dry, and that wood was just soaking up that water. So he had to come in. He took out our baseboards where along the wall of our stairs. And he took out all the floor in our closet, the coat closet. And he had to place fans behind. So he cut out a huge chunk of our coat closet so he could gain access to the area underneath our stairs, so he could put drying fans there. We had to have drying fans. We had that for about 2 weeks. I think it was about 2 weeks where he had to seal off everything. And he had to put, you know, like a plastic thing around where he made holes, and so that no heat would escape. And he ran those fans for about 2 straight weeks. The nice side is, for 2 weeks I had heated floors on my stairs. That was kind of cool. It was nice walking around barefoot on my floors. But the bad thing was, they're loud. Like we're driving up to the house and you can hear them type of loud. So that was fun to live with for a few weeks until that was all dried out. And during that time, the adjuster came right out. I didn't think we'd get an adjuster. I thought they'd all be working the mountains in North Carolina or Tennessee or Virginia, West Virginia, or Florida. I mean, Helene hit Florida too. It was pretty bad. So I just thought, man, we're never going to get an adjuster out here. Nope. They came right on out. He walked the house, made his estimate, and left to take back to the office. And the water damage guy pretty much broke it to me straight. He said, you're going to need to replace your entire first floor because it's all one connected piece of flooring. I said, you got to be kidding me. He's like, nope. The only places we didn't have to replace the flooring was where there was a threshold. So our places that needed to have waterproofed flooring, like LVP, such as our bathroom. We have 2 bathrooms and a washroom downstairs. So those were the only places that didn't need to have the floors replaced. And so ended up having to call another contractor that works with installing flooring, or actually it's kind of like general contractor, but that's one of the things they do is install flooring. So sourced quotes from like 5 or 6 different flooring companies, and they were all over the place, kind of in the same range as each other, within a few $1,000s. It really didn't matter. Insurance was going to pay the claim out, and ended up going with the contractor that the water guy recommended, but we bought the floors from a local place down the street. So we felt a little bit better since we were buying local, even though they didn't do the install. We felt a little better that we were buying local. And then in the grand scheme of things, kind of wish we had just went with them for the install too. I don't know. But then had to spend, I don't even know how many days we went to different flooring places looking at samples, bringing samples home, buying samples. I didn't know you had to buy samples in some places to take home to see if you like it. Like, nope, you just can't, borrow a sample and see if you like it, or they don't have, tiny little free samples that they give away, like at, Sam's Club or Costco or something like that, where you can like get a free sample of like a cookie or whatever it is that they're making, and keep going and get the little free sample of the Swedish meatball or whatever. Nope, it wasn't like that. So you had to pay for your tiny little sample you had to pay for in order to take home to see if you liked it. And I was talking to Mrs. Grey Eagle to see, what did she think? What do you want? The world is your oyster. We can do whatever you want with the floors, within reason, because insurance only pays so much. And we ended up coming to the conclusion, we, being her, came to the conclusion that we just want to keep the same color that we already had. Perfect. Now that that's done, let's just go and find a place that has the floor we want. Yeah, Mrs. Grey Eagle, yeah. So we that was most of the searching, going and finding samples and bringing them home and trying to match it to the floors we have upstairs, or even on the stairs, because the stairs are staying to match, right? So we do all of that. Takes a few days. We finally settle on a color. Great. Let's do this. Well, the quote that we had gotten from a lot of different companies, it would take about a week to demo and reinstall the new floors. Okay, no problem. So we were looking around. I think we were going to get a hotel for a week, and we were looking around, and hotels were going to be insanely expensive, and we were going to need a suite, or at least 2 rooms that are joined together, so that the kids can be in one, we can be in a different room. So whatever it costs for one, you got to double that. Got to double that price. And I know yada yada yada. Insurance is supposed to pay for that in the end, but it comes out of your pocket initially until you can. Well, the final cost is done, and you can submit the claim back to insurance to say this is what we actually spent. But lo and behold, we were saved by the in-laws. They were going to be out of town, down in Florida, spent time with some extended family they have down there, who unfortunately they had just, and I mean just, purchased a condo in Tampa, and it immediately got flooded. So they're displaced from their home, so they were doing the nice thing. They went down, got them an Airbnb. They're going to spend a week down there in an Airbnb. And so we were like, hey, while you're gone, we can stay in your house where our floors are being done. It's a week. We'll be gone before you get back. No problem. The kids' eggs. We'll call them, I don't know what we call them, just regular eagles. They're not gray yet, so we'll call them regular eagles. So, or eaglets, how about that? They're eaglets. So, when it was finally time for us to get the floors installed, we had to. This is why I'm like, I would never recommend getting your floors ripped up and reinstalled, because you literally have to move out of your house. And when I say move out of your house, you have to literally pretend like you're packing up and moving out of your house. Like everything needs to be packed so that they can come through and just start ripping floor up. So you think, oh, that's no big deal. I mean, you have to make your entire closet disappear, right? So closets have to disappear. Couches, coffee tables, picture frames, all this stuff that you just think, you have laying around, that's all got to disappear. So we spent days running around the house trying to get the house ready to be ripped apart. And we were barely ready. The morning they came, we were barely ready. Like, we were rushing around, throwing things in the car, trying to get ready when they showed up. And essentially, they showed up, and some of the stuff that we couldn't move, like tables and couches, they literally just picked up, moved into our garage. So we had most of our first floor just sitting in our garage, which in and of itself did not escape the disaster of demoing floors. So demo day, right? We're moving in to the in-laws. Surprise, surprise. It's taken so long to get a demo team together to come out that the in-laws are now back at home. So now we got to split a house with the in-laws and 2 kids. So that was super fun for them. Thank you very much for doing that. We really do appreciate that. So hold on, let me check on the status. Where are we? I don't want to hit the arrival before I've had a chance to review it. All right, cool. Put that up there so we can kind of semi-track where we're going. So we're here, we're going there. Excellent. So we've moved in and demo is happening, which is fine. We're not there. That's no biggie. It takes them about 3 or 4 days to demo the whole first floor. I did not realize how much dust and debris was going to get kicked up during demo because if I had, I would have prepared a lot better than what I already did. And I would have probably asked them to cover up a lot more stuff than they did, because there was just so much dust when everything was all said and done. And it was everywhere. Like, I was not expecting it. It went all the way upstairs, all the way into the loft, the kids' bedrooms. It was just covered in everything. Whatever. It's demo. It's bound to happen, right? I'll replace the air filters to make sure nothing is getting gunked up in the AC units whenever we move back in. No biggie. It is surprising to see, once the floors are ripped up, how many divots we had in our foundation. Some of them being from the beginning, from when the house was built. So the good thing was they were able to fill in all the divots. We had some small hairline cracks in the foundation as well. They filled all those in to have a nice smooth starting surface to go with before they're relayed to glue. So once about 3 or 4 days to rip up everything, then we had to wait another 3 days for the floors to come in. And when they finally did, I'm over at the house. I'm letting the guy in so he could put the floors in, because the floors have to be inside the house. They gotta sit there for about a day or two to acclimate to the new environment they're going to be in. And when he was done, he was like, "You want to take a look at your new floors?" I said, "Oh yeah, why not?" So we opened it up, and he takes one of the slats out, and I look at it and I go, "Oh." And he's like, "What?" I was like, "That's not the right color." And he was like, "It matches the order form. It matches exactly what the order form says." And I look at the order form, and I'm like, "And the order form matches exactly what we ordered, but it does not look like the little strip they sent us home with, so that we can choose what color we wanted." It was a lot more, I would say, red than the floors we currently have, which is okay. In the end, it looks fine. But it is what it is. I'm not going to send it back and waste another, 4 or 5, 6 days trying to get some wood back in, some floors back in. So they install it, and unfortunately, unlike what we were quoted from literally every place that had come to our house, it did not take a day to install the floors like they said. It took more like 4 or 5 days to install the floors. All the time, all the while, during that time they're installing, guess what holiday popped up? Thanksgiving. So, and we were supposed to host Thanksgiving. This was supposed to be done, over with. We're going to be back in the house. We're going to host Thanksgiving. No. That did not happen. So now we're panicking, because we really just don't want to put it on the in-laws. They've already taken us in. We don't want to put it on them to host. So we put it on them to host. To be fair, we did the hosting just in a different location, i.e. their house. And it was perfectly fine, but they're still hosting, right? So you still want to have a nice looking house and have everything, just right for when all the guests come over. So it was a whole event. Again, thank you very much for hosting Thanksgiving for us, with us. Really appreciate that. So a few days after Thanksgiving, finally, we're able to move back into our house. Kinda. Before that happened, we had to have a cleaning crew. And I didn't even know this was included in the quote. It was. I didn't realize it. They actually do pay, they actually do pay for a cleaning crew to come in. I did not realize this. So we had a cleaning company come in, because remember how I said there was dust everywhere? It was on the walls, on the ceiling, all over the place. So I had them come in, and literally, this is the dumbest thing I ever thought you'd had to clean, but they had to dust the walls. Yeah, that's right. They came in and dusted the walls. So once they came in, did a thorough clean job, we were able to move back in. But then by that time, it was like we had to literally throw up Christmas, host a Santa party. What happened next? Host a Christmas party and Christmas. So we hosted Christmas and a Christmas party and a Santa party. And mind you, in between this, I'm going to and from work. So I'm going to and from work. Every time I come home, I gotta do one thing or the other thing, and then boom, I'm back at work. And then I come back home, do one thing or the other thing, boom, I'm back at work. And then Christmas finally happens. Yay, that's good. And then literally a few days after Christmas, we went on a road trip. What road trip? We, for some reason, thought it was going to be a good idea, and it was a really good idea, to host, or not host, but drive the Pacific Coast Highway, which, let's see here, can I bring this over? I'll bring it over. Give me 1 sec. Alright, so there you go. So I want to make this a little bit smaller. There you go. So we got the Pacific Coast Highway. This is my Discord little server here. So we got the Redwood Forest here, which is absolutely impressive to go and see. Highly recommend it. Just massive trees, a little river that goes through it. I mean, the sunlight was hitting just right. It looks amazing. If you're ever out in the Redwood area, NorCal area, highly recommend you go to Redwood Forest, or even wine country. Let's go a little bit further, go to wine country. Absolutely amazing out there. Okay, those are repeating. And then we had our trip on the way down. So we started off in San Francisco. We ended up in San Diego. And this is Pacifica. And it was insanely cold for, California this time of year. But we stopped at a Taco Bell in Pacifica. I don't have any pictures of it, but we stopped at a Taco Bell in Pacifica that has frozen drinks. So I got a frozen Baja Blast, but you can add shots to it. So yeah, that was fun. So you can see some people surfing. There was a lot of people actually out there surfing. A lot of wetsuits. This is somewhere between Pacifica and Monterey. Mrs. Eagle was not doing the best job at taking pictures while we drove, so I don't have a lot of pictures while we drove. And from Monterey, we went down to Solvang. Solvang, absolutely, it's a little Dutch town, which is why you see like the little windmills there. So that's kind of like the charm and the allure of Solvang is how it has like the Dutch style architecture and the Dutch shops and stuff like that. And then nothing else uploaded. I'm kind of disappointed in that. There's some other stuff, but I'll try to get that up onto the Discord. For some reason, it just was not loading. So we shall see. But yeah, made our way from Solvang down to Santa Barbara, which was not that far of a drive. That was actually a nice day because we had a lot of time in Santa Barbara. So we went to the Santa Barbara Zoo, got to see that. That's actually a really cool place. I would highly recommend it. So I went to the Santa Barbara Zoo, went out to Santa Barbara. They have like a pier there, a really long pier. So went out there, walked the pier, had some ice cream obviously, and then had some seafood for dinner. Then the next day we went down to Carlsbad. No, we went down to Carlsbad, but we stopped over in Santa Monica real quick for lunch. And so we went to the Santa Monica pier, or of course we went to the pier for lunch. So that was cool. Insanely busy there, and you can't even park really that close to the pier. That's kind of a bummer, kind of a letdown that you can't park that close. But I completely understand because it's insanely busy there as well. And so made our way through LA traffic, which actually wasn't that bad because of the time of day that we went through. It actually wasn't that bad. We were able to pretty much keep chugging along through. It's very interesting though. We did see a California highway patrolman just like driving down the white line that separates the HOV from the rest of the highway, and he literally was just looking into cars to see if you had another person in the car. So that was very interesting, watching them enforce the HOV policy. Then made our way down to Carlsbad, where we stayed in a castle hotel. It's a gimmicky hotel, kind of like Disney's hotels were kind of like gimmicky hotels, same thing. Stayed in a castle hotel, but it was kind of cool because the front of your room had like its own like, not walled off but curtained off area, and it had a bunk bed in there and its own TV. It was a great kids area. And I mean, they definitely understand their clientele. So this is right outside of Legoland. Those were the pictures that I was trying to load up to Discord. I'll try to get that going here after I get the stream done. But the Legoland hotel, the Castle Hotel at Legoland, they definitely know their clientele, because not only did they have bunk beds in the room, the bathroom had a kiddie potty seat on it. I kid you not. Like, they know their clientele. Like, don't know who out there has kids and wants to go to Legoland, but if you do, I recommend it. And the hotel has its own playground that it does not close, so that's another perk too. Legoland was amazing. Would highly recommend it. It's really cool seeing. I don't know how these people make these miniature cities out of Legos, but they do. And then we drove down to San Diego, where we took our flight out the next morning. So we were so tired after spending all day in Legoland and then driving down to San Diego that we really didn't do anything. We just kind of wanted to stay in, order in, chill out, get everyone and everything ready for the flight out in the morning. But I did take Mrs. Grey Eagle to a famous bar in San Diego. Anyone know of a famous bar in San Diego that has to deal with aviation? Yeah, I'll give you a little bit of time to reply to that one. But took her to a really famous bar in San Diego, and well, didn't take her there. We drove past it. I pointed to it and said, hey, that bar is famous. And then we went to the hotel after that. And then the next day we flew out. So overall, great drive down. I highly recommend it. There's a huge chunk of the Pacific Coast Highway that's missing, so you can't drive the whole thing. But if you really wanted to get as much of it in as you could, you have to go through the interior, down south a little bit, and then back out to the coast, and then you can drive back up. And the only reason I say that is because right where it reopens is a castle, very old castle that is very well kept, from a family that used to own the land there. And it's a pretty cool spot to go if you want to, learn a little bit about the history or just see a castle out in California, because how many castles are in America, right? So that's a cool thing you can do. We didn't do it because we have kids, and that was going to be a solid 4-hour round trip out of the way, not including the castle excursion. So no, there was no way that was going to happen. But if you ever want something to do, yeah, definitely highly recommend it. You do it. Aero Club, good guess. Max Racing, good guess. But it's a very misleading name, because it's not in Kansas at all, but it's called Kansas City Barbecue. And Kansas City Barbecue is known for a very, very famous scene in Top Gun. The scene has something to do with Great Balls of Fire. So yeah, whenever you're in San Diego, remember Kansas City Barbecue. Great Balls of Fire scene was shot in that restaurant, and they are pretty much stuck at when that scene was shot, because you have bartenders. They get a jukebox that has the whole Top Gun track, the whole Top Gun album on it. The bartenders wear Top Gun shirts. They have a huge sign outside that says Top Gun was filmed here. So yeah, they definitely live up that Top Gun name. Let's see, we are getting called from Atlanta Center. Here we go, 32975. Here we go. .975. Here we go. Now that all of that long-winded excuse for why I was out is done, I'll get back to the chat here. Let's go ahead and manage up our speed, shall we? I love doing that. Atlanta Center, Delta 3318, flight level 330. Ident, descend and maintain flight level 240, Delta 3318. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and manage that up. Let's see, let's go backwards a little bit here. Okay, so yeah, Max Racing said, have you ever thought about buying a GA airplane IRL? And I have always wanted one since I was like a teenager. I tried to convince my parents to buy one. We didn't have the means then to buy one. I still kind of don't have the means to buy one, but I really do want to. One of my really good friends was gonna be in LA about the same time we were driving through LA to look at an airplane, and but I think we were just a day apart, and so I missed him. So that would have been cool to meet up with him and go hop in an airplane and go for a ride real quick. But I mean, that's okay. But yeah, I mean, I definitely have given it a lot of consideration, brought it up to Mrs. Gray Eagle several times, you know, to alrighty, we'll descend via the Jedi 3 arrival for Delta 3318. Alrighty, the bottom side is Daffy at 8,000, so we'll go ahead and put 8 in there. We'll get to reviewing some of that stuff later. So yeah, Max Racing definitely have considered doing that. Well, dude, I totally know how you feel. Yeah, I had a similar story after Hurricane Harvey. Oh no, wait, yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh, Hurricane Harvey, that was completely insane. That was all of Houston, right? I mean, or sorry, not all of Houston, but most of Houston that got flooded by Harvey, right? Let me think. Welcome back, sir. Yo, what's up, y'all? Nothing much, just having a cruise chat. The renovation talk. Yeah, let me think. You may have heard the renovation talk. I don't know if I've told you about it, but you may have heard about it. Oh man, that's a rough start to condo life. Yeah, dummy thick. That was kind of hard to listen to happen. Like literally, you just closed on your condo, and here comes a hurricane to take that away from you. So crazy turn of events there, but they're putting things back together, slowly getting everything back together, ordering new furniture and all types of stuff. Obviously they gotta have some repair work, and because it's a condo, the condo association has to come together with the money to fix everything, right? And it's shared spaces, shared walls. So I think that's gonna be the biggest hurdle for them to jump over there. When did the renovation happen? The renovation happened in November, December. November, December time frame. feel that we had new flooring installed in our entire house about a year and a half ago. Thankfully, we ripped up all the carpet and disposed of it ourselves, so that helped the process. Yeah, so carpet is a little bit easier there, dummy thick, because it's not glued down. There's a pad, and the carpet goes on top of a pad, and that's where we had the biggest issues, because we have it was engineered floors, and we're on a slab, so they're glued to the slab, so they literally had to jackhammer the floors out of our house. So that was the big thing there. I'm just gonna bring in a little bit of spring brake, just a teensy bit speed brakes there. Wow, cool. Went to Yosemite a couple of months ago. Oh wow, that's one place I want to go, is Yosemite. That's really cool. Yeah. Enjoyed the insight. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the insight there, Max Racing. Let's see. We are now descending. Let's go ahead and get this fastest seatbelt sign back on, since we're now in the descent. They are still going. They're still going west. I'm gonna expect 27 left. I don't want to land on 28. It's kind of far. So the Jedi arrival here. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at it. Go ahead and bring you down to 10 nautical miles. We got I have no clue where we're navigating to. I think you would call that Death Star. I think you would call this Jedi, right? So Death Star. So at or above 14,280 knots. That looks good. Waki is at or above 11,250 knots. And then Jedi, that's at or above 10,250 knots. And then we have Daffy, that's at 8,000. And then we have Graham Puba. And there should be, oh no, it's a heading after Pumbaa. Okay, well, let's plan on the ILS here. We'll go ahead and turn on the LS push buttons, so get both of those on. And we got Grumpy and Depot, I think, and Depot's at above 2,800 feet. It's a 3-degree glide slope, 6 miles, 3-degree glide slope, about 6 miles if you do the math there, to the runway. Mesh approach says that climb to 1,500, climbing left turn to 4,000 on a 265 heading. There it is. And then we'll go inbound on the RMG 165 radio to duty and hold, so that looks good there. So we'll go ahead and put that out. And now that it has been reviewed, we shall ask our Ghost FO if he's ready for a briefing. Did you hear about that SkySim DC-9? I have. Well, I didn't even know that was in development 1. Supposedly, I did see a few YouTubers reviewing it, quote unquote reviewing it, and saying, hey, hold off on it. Because it's not in a release state right now, from what I hear. So I don't have it, so I have no opinion on it. It is what it is. I recommend, if you want, to see it in action, follow, go hop on over to like V1 stream or something like that, and see what he had to say about it. So I think it's rough around the edges, but I mean, it's an airplane to fly. I mean, who knows, it could sell like hotcakes, because we all know Captain Sim sold. So it is what it is there. I'll go ahead and stow the speed brakes because we really don't need this. Alrighty, so this review here, we'll do the Jedi 3. Our next restriction, Death Star, is at or above 14,280 knots with the bottom side Daffy. Is it Daffy or I don't know. Okay, at 8,000. That might be like a different way. I might be saying that wrong, because that could be 2 right there. I don't know what DAF is though. Is that 8,000? Let's plan on doing the visual. We'll back it up with the ILS to runway 27 left. This chart 11-15 dated 14 April 23. Since it's a day VFR, we don't have to brief anything other than that. We'll use flaps full and auto brakes low. Let's go ahead and put in the prog page here. KATL 27 left. And we're here. Let's see. Vatsum Edis says winds are calm. Wow, okay. So we got calm winds. Temperature is 0 degrees. Oh my, it's literally cold everywhere. 3029er. So I'll set that in here. And we'll come up here since this transition. 3029er. 3029er. Set once. Set twice. And set thrice. There we go. And we can turn the wing light back on. Excellent. And lastly, let's go ahead and check our company message that's probably been sitting here this entire flight. I need AOC menu. Oop, go back. I don't even know if you can actually send text message. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll go ahead and get right on that. Ops. Alright, so I'll leave you on performance. We'll bring you up. What's the minimums here? 1199. So 1199. We'll put that in there. Excellent. Any questions, Gostefo? Have you ever done an FLS FPV or FLS? I think you mean FLS approach. No, but could be coming our way soon. The newest block of airplanes we're getting will be equipped with FLS. So I know very little about FLS approaches, other than how to set, that's not really even how to set them up, but how they're pretty much like a pseudo ILS. So, but most of the places we go to, we shoot RNAVs or ILSs anyways. I don't know how much that will change my life. Just because, the vast majority are ILSs. I mean, the vast majority of approaches you'll shoot are ILSs. Unless like you get to a place where, like VR approach is the only thing, but even then, it's just one of those things where it's like, even some of the third world countries have ILSs, so don't have to really worry about it that often. Let's go ahead and prepare the flight attendants for landing. Flight attendants, prepare for landing. But yeah, definitely something that is coming our way. Getting the latest and greatest technology. Ooh. Wow, there's a Citrus. I think that's AirTran. That's an AirTran call sign. Citrus. A long time since I've heard that. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and let you chill out here to get rid of our in-flight entertainment. Thank you very much for being the background music to my lengthy chat there. This airplane is so on profile. It's not even funny. That's amazing. Runway 27 left. We do have Charlie for Delta 3318. All right, so we can expect 27 left, and we have Charlie. That is all good. Let's see, make sure I have. There we go. Get the flight replay ready to start recording. Don't want to forget that. I am actually fairly impressed that I got that whole story done in just one flight. Didn't know if that was going to be a one flight story or not, but that's the story of me disappearing for quite some time. But the good thing is, while I was gone, I was definitely able to, like, I had some time, obviously away from my computer, to think and come up with some stuff for the stream. Some stream ideas. So I definitely want to, like I said the other day, do a pilot's life, or the career mode, and the career mode in Flight Sim 2024. Okay, here it is. All right, I saved some of my notes. The 2024 career mode. Here we go. I want to call it Zero to Hero: Journey of an Airline Pilot. So that's what I'm thinking about calling that. And I get some pre-recorded video ideas that I want to come up with and put out there. So definitely want to record some videos to post online for you guys, show you how we do some things on the line in the real world. And then some things I just want to introduce on streams. Like I said, I kind of want to introduce like some of the MELs that I have and that I've seen in real life. I kind of want to do that in real life. Although I feel like the Flight Sim Labs A321 is going to be a much better platform for that, since I forgot that. Did I tell them prepare for landing? Yep. So 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and do that. So I think the Flight Sim Labs is going to be a better airplane to do that in, but I don't have the Flight Sim Labs. Not interested in getting the Flight Sim Labs. I was on FSX when Flight Sim Labs first came out, and I was super excited for them. And then I heard what they did, and I was like, no way, nope. So maybe they deserve a second chance, but not with me. So I'm not really into that. Plus, we already have a 321 that's already a really good 321, so I'm not going to buy a redundant 321 series aircraft with the company and their shaky reputation that they already have. So be that as it is, you know, I'll make it the best I can in the Phoenix. 330 5000, Delta 3318. 330 and 5000. We'll switch you down to hundreds. 5 is set. There we go. So this is going to be vectors for final, I think. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and no star this. And we'll do approach vias I don't know. Salva, I guess is how you say that. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and insert that now. Excellent. And that activated their approach phase for some reason. There we go. So I will go ahead and keep those where it is. Down to 5000. Probably just gonna use a little bit of the speed brakes, watching the hook there to make sure we don't the hook doesn't come up to meet us. That's a real thing to worry about in the 321. Beautiful. Sorry I haven't gotten that many of the wing views. There we go. I mean, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 looks good. 2024 looks even better. So we're 6 for 5. It looks like he's going to bring us in right just outside of Depot. Depot is at 2,600. So that'll be that. I don't have a gate that I want to park at yet, so let's figure that one out there. I guess it literally won't matter.
8580, advise you have information Charlie, runway 26 right. 6 right. So 3318, just maintain 3000.
So to maintain 3,000, Delta 3318. Alrighty, 3,000. It's definitely getting us in. Alright, so we'll go ahead. Drop that down to 3,000. Draco says, I feel I can count the leaves on the bushes there. Graphics are crazy now. Yeah. The graphics are absolutely insane. You can literally see the neighborhood down there just passing off under a wing. Oh, look at the wing flex on this airplane. One thing that Fenix did exactly right. Oh my god. I mean, they do a lot of things right, but the way the wing bounces around, dude, absolutely insane. And for those of you who are watching, I do stream in 4K. The stream should be in 4K. If it's not, let me know in the comments down below, but it should be streaming in 4K. I run 4K. I don't do DLSS, but I do frame generation. We're 4 for 3. Once we get down to 3,000, I'm probably just going to slow it up to 210 knots because we are screaming in here. Oh wow, CPDLC. No way.
If you're planning to fire altitude and would like to use CPDLC, feel free to connect to KZTL, Kilo Zulu Tango Lima on your Honda sign.
Okay, KZTL. I don't think I have that set up, so we'll go ahead and slow it up to, let's call it 190 knots for now. We don't want to go too insanely fast. It is rocking down here for a calm wind.
And there 5114, Washington's offline, frequency chain approved via. Atlanta, Pennsylvania, Southwest 1232, sun level 340, Charlie.
While I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead and start our recording. Excellent. We'll go ahead and save that. Sweet deal. We should be recording. All right, let's get to the back for flaps extension. It's actually just slats. Flaps 1, speed verified.
Southwest 550, Roger, taxi Rampy, India.
Beautiful.
Merchant Delta 3318, field is at your 11 o'clock, 10 miles west.
Inside Delta 3318.
3318, clear visual approach, runway 27 left.
Flaps 2.
Tower, 119.1.
Alrighty, clear visual approach 27 left. Tower at Depot for Delta 3318. Have a great day. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna arm it up right just as is. We'll slow it up to 170 knots because flaps 2 170 knots is the right place to be. Excellent. And tower, he said, was 19.1. Did he say 19.1? Yeah, 19.1. Sweet. All right, go ahead and pre-select 119.1. Low capture. Did I forget to do a descent checklist? No time like the present to do a descent checklist, guys. All right, let's go ahead and do it. Altimeters 3029er, auto brake low. Rough approach page set. Arrival briefing is reviewed. Visual approach backed up with ILS 27 left. Status checked. Descent checklist is complete. There we go. Alrighty, we're close enough. He's starting to break up on me. 19.1 is in there. We're clear for the approach. I get that light on, and we can just, I'll go ahead and call tower now. So tower, Delta 3318, just outside of Depot. 27 left, clear to land for Delta 3318. Alrighty, we're cleared to land. So all of our lights are on, ready to go. Recording is set and ready to go. I am going to bring up the sound just a little bit there for you all. And the glide slope is coming on in. Go ahead and manage your first speed. Go gear down. Glide slope capture, set the missed approach altitude 4,000. That's set. Flaps 3, speed verified. And flaps full, speed verified before landing checklist. Altimeters is 3029 or crossing 2800. Engine mode. Norm. Landing gear. Down through green KMIA. Landing no blue before landing checklist is complete. Alright everybody, I'll see you on the ground. I'm going to let the airplane do a little bit more flying. See what this wind's going to do. Or disconnect the autopilot here. I can just hear the engines spooling up and spooling back down. That's crazy. Ground speed mini is, we definitely get a little bit of a headwind. It's a crosswind, but it's enough of a headwind where ground speed mini has added some speed onto us. We're stable. Alright, the Pappies are coming into view. Alright, excellent. Autopilot's off. Wind's starting to die off. Continuing.
Retard. 10. 5.
Lloyd. $80. We get up to min reverse. Well, we're short of 27 right at Tango for Delta 3318. Alrighty, 60. We'll bring it out of reverse, slow it down a little bit, take this high speed. I do not know where Tango is. Well, that is a really good question. Where's Tango? You. Is Tango in front of us or behind us? S. D. Where's Tango? I am not seeing this. Question for you. Where is Tango in relation to us for Delta 3318? Never mind. I see it. I'm making the right-hand turn now for Delta 3318. Cross 27 right at Tango will join Lima to Park for Delta 3318. Thanks for the ATC, and you have a great night. Alrighty, so flaps up. There we go. Excellent, excellent, excellent work there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Atlanta. We're clear to cross. We're clear on the left. Cleared on the right. take Lima to park. Easy squeezy. So Lima is the most inner taxiway there.
Citrus 371, welcome to Atlanta. Hold for the runway 26 left at Bravo 6.
26 left at Bravo 6 for Citrus 371.
Alright.
And that's Citrus 371, cross 26 left at Bravo 6.
There we go.
To parking.
Excellent. Got the APU coming up. All the lights are set for after landing. Flaps are up. Spoilers are disarmed. The default Asobo. Atlanta. Not bad. Could be better, but not bad. For me, I'm all about trying to spend the least amount to enjoy my flight simming experience. Yes, I do like spending money on like some airplanes here and there because, you know, payware airplanes are just really so good. But, you know, I guess I have been so used to the FSX, default FSX airports and the default FSX buildings that it really doesn't bother me flying into default airports. But then you fly into like some of these airports nowadays that just look insanely realistic.
Got a 1680, runway 26 left, line up late.
Oh, that's so interesting. There's a Southwest down there. I don't think I turned off my FSLTL, but maybe I did. So that's good news to know that at least some of my FSLTL is working, because I was getting errors for certain airplanes. So obviously V-Pilot doesn't have all of them for some reason. So one reason or another. Let's see here. We'll just park it right here. How's that sound? Looks pretty good to me. Was it Bravo 2 or Bravo 4? Yeah, that sounds good. Looks good.
And just make sure I'm hearing you right. You want 26 right, which is at the very north side of the airport, correct?
Correct. I know it's a long taxi.
Okay. I'm just making sure I'm doing stuff right on my end.
I guess he can't believe this guy wants to take the super long taxi route.
Got a 1680 RNF to MPAS and a 26 left start to take off.
Hard up to impasse, clear for takeoff, 26 left Delta 1680, thanks.
Alrighty, rolled it a little past that second bar there, but that's okay. We're all the way set in. The parking brake is set per the usual, since I don't want to like have to deplane everything and then do the replay. We'll just leave everything running. Let me see. Alright, I want to just see real quick. Okay. I don't know if this is FSLTL. It shouldn't be. I mean, maybe it is FSLTL. Why aren't there any planes on any of the other buildings? See, that shouldn't be FSLTL. That should be a real plane right there. Okay. The fact that all of these airplanes have tugs means that this is probably FSLTL, because FSLTL does that stuff. So, okay, never mind.
2998 heavy, cross runway 27 left at Romeo 11, hold short 27 right at Delta.
Okay. There's the UPS right there, so it is modeling some stuff.
At Romeo and
Oh well.
26 right on Delta, UPS 2998 heavy.
Right. We'll get this all the way back to the airplane so we can do these replays. So, let's go ahead and disconnect. Thank you for your service. Appreciate you. Can finally get rid of you. We can stop our recording. For sure, we can stop our recording. All right. Alrighty. Get this back to the airplane. We'll run the replays. See, if you notice it, the airplane definitely floats a lot more. Ground speed MIDI wasn't helping us out there by adding all that speed to our ref. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and hop back inside and let's load the replay, shall we? Open you up. And play. There we go. There we go. Give it time for all the systems to catch up there. Definitely will release the parking brakes. Excellent. Initialize weights. We'll clear that out. So, there we go. Excellent. I think everything has stabilized out now. Let's go ahead and take a look from the back. Oh, downtown Atlanta right there in the background with that beautiful Sharklet. Absolutely amazing. You can see the float that the Sharklets give. You just kind of hold your pitch. That was not bad at all. That was not bad at all, chat. Let's run that back again. Want to move to like just behind the wing there. Let's see. All right, let's do it. So you get just like a little bit of that float. It's just like a little bit. It's just enough to make it more floaty than a non-Sharklets, but you just kind of set the pitch and just let it hold it there and wait for the airplane to settle. And that's a 321 butter all day, every day. You just set it, hold it, and wait. Oh my gosh, chat. I don't even know what that foot per minute was, but I mean, I'll take that every day. It was a little long, not gonna lie. Was a little long. But you can't deny the butter. Absolutely amazing. I want to see exactly where we touched down because we were past 1,000 footers, but I don't think we were like that much further from the 1,000 footers. Let's see. I want that downtown in the background. There we go. Just like that. Let's see. Where were we? Don't have to flop around that hard, airplane. Ooh. Okay. You see that? We were like just, I mean, we made it just within the last 500 feet at the touchdown zone because we landed right just about at the last, not the last set of bars, but the next to last bars there. So, you know, landing within the last 500 feet. It looked like one wheel did touch down first. It looks like. Wow. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Okay. I'm not going to get that area in between. Let's see if I can do. Yeah, one wheel did touch down first. It's interesting that one wheel touched down first, but I got full deployment. Usually you only get half spoiler deployment when that happens. All right. Let's do the drone shot for sure. Let's do the drone shot of this. We'll go through and I will unfollow. I like doing that. And I'll bump up the speed just a little bit. Not something crazy, but yeah, there we go. And then we'll rewind that back. See if I can get this shot here. Excellent. Off to the side of the runway. We're coming in. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Let's run that back. We'll bring this back to where my drone is. Excellent. I'll put this back in follow mode. There we go. And we will go inside for our last shot here. That go. Bring the camera up. There we go. Excellent. There we go for our last shot, coming down on a very kind of wishy-washy final there. But again, thank you everyone for sticking with me, sticking with the channel. I really do appreciate each and every one of you who came out and joined me tonight. Lewis, thank you very much. Max Racing Dummy Thick, Draco, Owls, thank you all very much for coming in and spending a little bit of your evening with me. I really do appreciate you spending your time with me. I really do enjoy having you guys in the chat and giving you a little story time. Ooh, there we go. Sorry about that. Bringing that up. I go back on call tomorrow, so there probably will not be a stream tomorrow, but I am pretty much off all next week, so you can definitely expect me to be streaming sometime next week, but especially for Turn and Burn Tuesday. But until I see you guys for the next time, remember to take care of yourselves and each other. Until then, I'm Greg. Peace.